All right, so most of you are probably just going straight from part 2 to part 3. And we're going to turn this into an object. Sorry, I should hit final sketch on the last one. I apologize. So this is our sketch. If you need to hit open, just go file open, or you click the show data panel, find something in recent data, editables, whichever one, but you'll probably find it in there, and you can open it up from there. But once you have it open, let's turn this into a 3D object. So instead of sketching now, we already have our sketch panel. I'm going to just change, I'm going to call this white coin anyways. Why not? Well, white ranger coin, ranger coin, ranger coin. Why not? So if you start getting a lot of sketches, you'll want to name stuff. Now, this is just a 2D sketch, right? So we're going to turn this into a 3D sketch, or 3D sketch, a 3D object. Now what we're going to do first is, we know certain things need to be taller than other things. My personal preference is I would have normally looked at this object and measured it, which I did, and I'm going to make this 5 millimeters thick. And I know the extrusion parts are going to be another millimeter thick from there. So what we're going to do, if we look at the web page real quick, is see that's the extra circle we had, and then we need that extruded out of the coin. So we're going to start by just selecting everything in the sketch. Left click, come all the way down, selects everything. We're going to hit E for extrude, because extrude is what's going to make this thick. It's going to give its thickness. Now you can come in here and you can pull this arrow up as far as you want, as little as you want. I'm just going to straight type it because I know I want it 5 millimeters. Hit OK. This gives us a new body. So we're over here in the panel. We already have the sketch panel. This opens a body panel. This body, I'm just going to put Coinbase because that's what I want to name it. Again, when you have too many bodies, stuff gets weird. That's our Coinbase. Okay. Now we're going to open Sketch back up. I'm going to hide this. You can always hide with the little eyeglass. I'll hide that. And I need parts to be extruded on. So when we look at the coin itself, what faces I need, we're going to select, I'm going to hit extrude again, E for extrude, or hit the extrude button up here. I'm going to select 1, 2, oops, let's try again. Hit E, extrude, pulls up your panel, make sure it's pulled up. 1, 2, 3. Now, I know I'm going to turn this body back on now because I want these combined. So I'm going to turn this back on. Actually, yeah, I'm going to turn it back on. I know this was 5, and I want this to be 6 because I need it to be outside of that. I need it to be on top. So I'm going to hit 6. It's going to try to cut it because that's just what it does when it's on top of it. So we're just going to hit join instead. Drop down menu, join, cut, intersect, join. We're going to hit OK. As you can see, I'm going to turn off the drawing for a second. We now have it extruded on there. Perfect. Now, the other way you could do this as well, I'm going to come back on this, is say if you turned off that body and I extrude these 6 millimeters, see how I've added, these are all its own body now, right? That's what we're trying to avoid so we didn't have to do it. Now, which is fine. I can go back to the Coinbase, turn it on. They look like they're combined, but they're not. I'm going to select the Coinbase, come up here to the Modify tool. I'm going to hit Combine. You may have to do the drop-down menu. Find Combine in there. Select it. I selected the main object, and I want to combine the other 3 bodies. Oh. We're golden. Cool feature. Again, I do the normal join first, but in case you had extra bodies, the combine feature is awesome. Now, remember that extra circle I added late because I did this before. I needed to do it again. So, as you can see from the coin, it has that little rim around the edge. So I need to, that's what I put this for. So I'm going to select that rim, go 6 up, turn that on, and combine. Oops, that cut. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's try that again. Control Z is your friend. Mistakes happen. That's the cool thing about the CAD software. 6, turn on, change back to join, hit OK. Now, with that said, again, Control Z is your friend, but sometimes maybe you missed something. Maybe you wanted this to be taller. I can come in here and select and hit extrude again, but one of the cool things about Fusion is you have this history bar down here once you start working in bodies and 3D parts. So that last extrude, and it always goes in order. So that last extrude we did, if I want to change that to 10, I double click, come in here, and it basically is redoing the extrude. Now I don't want to, let me go back. But same with this extrude. If I want to make this bigger, double click in the history, make it 10, boom. It'll automatically catch up through the history. Another cool feature in there. But again, we're not worried about that too much. Now, last thing I really want to do is these are very, very sharp. They're, straight lines. So just like the fillet feature with curving in the sketch, I want to do that with the coin. Just like in here, you can see the curves. I want it to be curved on here. So what we're going to do, it's the same thing. So there's a fillet feature in here. I'm going to hit F, because in here we can hit F. I'm going to start selecting lines. Now, the crazy thing about this is it's 1 millimeter tall. So if I try to fillet any more than that, it's just not going to work. So this is where you play around. So it's 1 millimeter tall. I selected 2 edges. So that means I know 0.5 is going to be halfway between each one. It's going to be perfectly round on top. Now, if I went 0.25, you can see where it's still going to have a little bit of tough. But since I know that it was 1 millimeter, and it's good knowing your drawing, I can go 0.5, it's going to cut in between the two. It's going to be that nice, round, smooth curve. Let's try it again. Let's do a little fillet. Fillet, fillet. All right. So we did that on that one. Get the other side. Hit an F. And make sure you're hitting the edges and not the full body. Oh, interesting. We're getting an error code. Sometimes errors do happen. Could have been based on the size, the drawing. Just going to rotate and make sure we get it one at a time. So sometimes you just got to select it one at a time. Not a big deal. There we go. I might have just been selecting the wrong edge, but that's okay. So we can do one at a time at times. There we go. So yeah, we saw the error code. Not a big deal. I just went in there and selected the normal edge and went from there. So let's get this last one. The main. Hit fillet one more time. Get around. .5 on that. And lo and behold, we have our power coin. Now I could fill at the edges all around here. I'm not going to waste your time on that. If you want to fill it and curve those, you absolutely could. Fill it. Let's say, what if we did, I don't know, 5. Nope, too much. 2. Nope. 1. There we go. So we can make these all a little dimpled like that. I mean, you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to. That's more if you want to. But that's just how you curve the edges. So what did we learn? We learned how to sketch. We learned how to put a canvas in there. We went from a canvas to a sketch on top of it to a 3D coin. And in less than an hour, we have a coin ready to print. Come up here, right click, save STL. Hit OK. It's going to pull up. Just going to go white coin base, white ranger base, coin, boom. And then wherever we go from there, that file can now be printed on a 3D printer, sent to a file for a friend to 3D print, anything. But we have smooth edges, rounded edges. Obviously, we can do the rest of them if we need to. That's up to you guys. But you have a coin. Done and done. So yeah, after all 3 parts, you now have your own White Ranger power coin that you designed yourself. Now, you can grab the other power coins and adjust them from there. There's more detailing for some of them that you'd have to do with, say, like the Triceratops or anything like that. But that's where your splines come in. You keep using your splines, you keep adjusting and getting all the sketch work that you can get done there. And then you do the same thing, just extrude it out and make the coin. It's very simplistic from 2D to 3D, but that is a 3D model. And that's how a lot of the basic models are made. You can use this with text. You can use this with the state outlines I like to do. But from here, I hope you at least learn something. And even if you've never used Fusion 360 before, you now have a 3D model for yourself. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. If you guys want any other tutorials, I'm new to this, so hopefully you guys liked it, and maybe you'll want to see a new tutorial. Give me some ideas, and we will move on from there. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something.